Cobra Kai, Globo Gym Cobras, and the Serpent Society. What do they all have in common? I don't know.
Snakes?
Gary hates snakes.
Touchdown Cowboys, by the way.
Yes.
What is up, Defects? Monday Night Live. We are back on a holiday Monday, on a playoff football Monday, and the Dallas kicker misses another extra point. Okay. Guy, give him a little Globo Gym Cobras. You were practicing beforehand. We were trying to figure that out before the show started. But like, what were they called in dodgeball? But a good show tonight. We got a mixture of stuff. We got a couple, like one or two little new things. I got not a lot of slides tonight, but a lot of notes. We're gonna it's gonna be some quick topics, so we're gonna span a lot of shit. So let's just get started because I want to watch the game. You know what I mean? I say what up to my boy on the bottom right there first, Gary. What up?
What's going on, guys? I'm excited for this one. I don't know what's coming either. That's what she said. But still, I have no idea what the next 60 minutes is gonna bring. So
you let the guy off his channel, and all of a sudden he gets raunchy.
I mean, he really has. Like, I want to see what happens when he goes back live on his channel.
I'm here for Jay. Okay, yeah. I got his. I'm like a G version of Jay.
A G.
PG.
I feel like you've been a little bit more. You're like VG. But that's
okay,
there story.
Well, if that wasn't a setup.
Guy Forge, what's up, baby?
Talk about Globo Gym Laser and my main consigliere Blazer. Hey guys, what's up? I'm very excited to be here. Cowboys are looking okay. I'm not going to say they're looking good. We should be winning this game by a lot more. I'll tell you that. But we'll see what happens towards the end of it.
Dave Cerrone says, I look cold because I have no heat in my house. It's just called I'm cheap, and I don't, I have this brand new house that I don't want to spend money on when I heat it. So I just wear more clothes. I mean, it seems logical. You know what I mean? It's all right.
I mean, it makes sense.
And I'm just in a basement. So
yeah,
it's cold down here.
Are you in the basement? I don't know why I always thought you were in like an attic.
He used to be.
I started in the attic. I started from the top, and I went. You know how usually you start from the bottom, and now we're here.
And now
I started from the top, and I
was like three men in the basement. They were three men in the attic.
There were three men. Now there's one guy. So.
Barely.
You're just one guy in a basement locked in there.
That's it.
Speaking of a basement, I saw Jay in the chat. I just watched Black Phone. That was really good, by the way.
Oh, go ahead.
Really good. Jay told me to watch it. I really enjoyed it a lot. Did you watch it, Gary?
No, I actually wanted to bring this up tonight. I don't want to go off on a tangent, but did either of you guys watch The Last of Us?
The Last of Us. I had that on my list just for you.
It's on the list, yeah.
So good.
We'll get there.
I don't know if you guys played it. I
did not. I know nothing about it, which I like because I've heard good things. But
I'll tell you right now, The Last of Us is probably one of the best top 3 video games I ever played in my life.
Okay.
The first one, I never played the second one. It was so good beginning to end. The story was unbelievable. The gameplay was great. But the show was, like, very good.
Okay.
Very good. It's, like, just over an hour, too, which is cool for an HBO.
Yeah, I'm probably going to watch that sometime this week. Probably not tonight because it's going to be late by the time we finish our launch game. All right, good.
Very accurate.
So I think there's a little bit of news. We're going to talk about the auction. We're going to talk about a bunch of different shit. So I guess we're just going to start off, like I said, with the fucking news. So I think we have something for that, but we never play it.
We got one of those promo things.
Yeah.
We talk about 3 men in a basement. There they are.
And they
one of them.
He's like Beetlejuice. Say his name 3 times,
Say Pazzo 3 times and Otto appears.
Yeah. Chris Biggs is right. The new Mandalorian trailer is going to be at halftime of this game. So
March 1st, right? I thought
March
I saw
1st, and the trailer is actually
the trailer comes out tonight
in about 20 minutes, probably.
I don't need a trailer for that show. Do you? Like, I don't need to see a trailer.
I don't need it. So, like, I was thinking, like, maybe we should stop the show and, like, watch it live. But I'm like, We don't have to do that. Just watch
I don't
it
need
after.
to see it, and I can't watch
They
it
had
from
it-
here anyway, where I am.
They had the poster come out today too.
Yeah.
I saw
Everything
that.
dropped today. The date,
Yeah.
the poster, and now the trailer coming. So
Oh, we just
They do. I'll tell you, Star Wars on Disney Plus has been very good, except for Boba Fett. Most of Boba Fett was pretty bad, but some of it was very good.
Andor, I think, is my. I gotta be honest. I think Andor is my favorite.
I still
even
have to
more
watch
than
it.
Mandalorian.
You didn't watch
Mandalorian
Andor
season
yet?
2. I thought Mandalorian season 2 was better. It was like more of the same until Ahsoka showed up, and then that season 2 took off. I was like,
Hold on, Garrett. Gary, you didn't watch Andor yet?
I haven't.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I you don't understand how far behind I am. I just watched Werewolf by Night.
I know. I was busting his balls for like 3 months. I'm like, you gotta watch
Well, the
it.
thing
There's
is, I didn't
45
want
minutes.
to. I didn't want to watch it on my phone. I kept telling Matt, like,
Yeah,
I didn't want
you
to
did
watch it
say
on my
that. You
phone,
did
like
say that.
during lunch or something at work. I didn't want to do that. That was the kind of show I wanted to make sure it was on the big screen to watch.
Makes
there's
sense.
some
TV.
there's
Sense.
some things that are okay to watch. I saw that too, Matt. There's some things that are okay to watch. Like on your phone.
Yeah,
I think, but yeah, some of these you don't want to wait. You don't. I mean, you want to wait, and you want to watch it on the big
Do it the
screen.
right-
You want to kind of
yeah.
correct.
do it the
yeah.
right way. I'm with you.
And
100%.
Andor's, I would say Andor is one of them because once you get past like the second episode, it's gonna hook you, bro.
Yeah, and I know it will. So I want to make sure I do that right as well. But right now I'm on to The Last of Us. Dude, I didn't even finish Game of Thrones yet. I'm so bad.
Don't even talk to me. I mean, Guy's never watched it, so I keep telling him he's got to watch it.
Oh
But
my!
I had to stop.
Well, the original I finished. Don't get me.
okay.
Oh no,
okay.
no, no.
Yeah.
That was week to week. No joke.
Yeah. All
I'm
right.
talking about the Targaryens.
Yeah, no, it was good. I mean, it gets good, then it slows down, then it gets really good. So you'll get there. But I had to stop the show for Ugly Ewok because this guy is more cynical than Jay, and he's saying that he's all in on The Last of Us. So that's high praise coming from Ugly Ewok. Bunch of what's ups in the chat. So just, hey man, what's up everybody? I would love to say hi to all of you, but we want to get going here. We're going to start with the thumbnail because it kind of sets up parts of the rest of the show. And you'll see what I mean by that. So, yeah, possibly the latest rumor, pick your fucking, I mean, they're just, every day it's something different.
Pick
The
your
latest
nose.
rumor is the Serpent Society will be a villain, maybe not the main villain, a part of the story of Captain America 4 or Captain America New World Order. Okay.
How far we've fallen with Captain America, but go ahead.
So I wanted to, again, you got to take all this shit with a grain of salt. But what I like to do is I like to kind of see where the connections are so we could kind of make sense of it or kind of toss it to the side, right? So
I
Yeah,
don't
go
want to
ahead.
cut you off, Matt, but
No,
didn't
that's
we
all right.
have the rumors for Captain America? Wasn't MODOK the villain? Wasn't that a rumor for a bit?
I don't
I
think
thought
so.
MODOK was the what?
Well, MODOK
This is-
is in, obviously.
Yeah,
man.
but didn't we
Game?
already have a rumor for the villain in?
Oh, yeah, there's been like 3 or 4 of them.
Oh, okay, all right,
Yeah.
all right. Then go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So Guy Forge said, Maddie, I've never even heard of the Serpent Society. And I was like, you're not the only one because it's not like a very well-known group. Criminal enterprise, right? Essentially just like mercenaries, but like almost like the Thunderbolts, but bad all the time. Okay. So
That's
what's
it, the
interesting?
leader. Sorry.
What's
Leader.
that? The
Chinmo.
leader, yes,
Leader.
yes.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Thank you,
Sorry.
Chimmo. So what's interesting is I like I said, I like to find the connections. And their first paid gig, Serpent Society, was actually to kill MODOK. And we know we just got MODOK in the MCU. I'm not a huge tie, but just interesting, right? Another tie, and I think this kind of is going to lead into more of where I want the conversation to go. And this is something that I've talked about with Gary and Guy, both of them offline, is that, a member of the Serpent Society at some point was Viper, aka Madam Hydra. Okay. And I think Gary's going to know where I'm going with this. So for Captain Falcon and Winter Soldier, we know we got Madripoor. And a lot of people, a lot of industry insiders and rumor mills had Madam Hydra showing up in in Falcon and Winter Soldier. We got Madripoor. So like there's another connection. Like a member, their home base basically that they run is already in the MCU in the realm of, like it was in Falcon and Winter Soldier, which is essentially just a prequel to Captain America 4, right? So we know Madripoor is probably going to be in Captain America 4. So, if you kind of pick all the pieces apart, like, is this something that's going to be there? I doubt it, because it just seems like if it is, it's just going to be like a throw-in in the background. I don't think they'll have anything to do with really the story. It could be like a group that they talk about that's in Madripoor. And you guys can give your opinion on whether this is a good spec or not a good spec. And, is this something that we could see? Is it not something we could see? But I think it goes to show that sometimes when the rumor mill seems like they got it wrong, they may have just been really, really early, or they got a piece of it right, and it actually was like maybe like one step away from being right. Like they said Madam Hydra in Madripoor, but maybe it's just Serpent Society and Captain America 4 as like a background group in Madripoor that somebody mentions. You know what I mean? So the rumor mills, we got to remember, like, it could have been on the table for a little while, but then they pushed it off to either never or the next project. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't know who wants to... I know I kind of rambled there, but...
No,
but what do you think?
I don't think you're wrong. I think it may be just like sometimes they're just connecting dots. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you're not going to get the full puzzle... for less of an analogy, you're not going to get the full puzzle like, when you open up the box. You got to put the pieces together. You got to create the drama, leave the hints, the tidbits out there, and then hopefully people put the pieces together, and then maybe it's not going to hit you right in the face like, the first season, but they left the little crumbs there,
right,
for you to find, or even out in the open. And then maybe later down the line, you get a different piece of it. You get just exactly what you're saying. Maybe not in the way you wanted, right?
Right.
Like
exactly.
Like Thunderbolts. Like we brought in what's her name? What the hell's her name?
Contessa?
Yeah, Contessa.
You brought in Contessa. Now you're bringing back. Now they're dabbling and bringing back Ross back, right? With
Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford.
Exactly.
So what was the point of bringing Contessa in, really? Like, is she there for another reason? Is Ross just an idea? Are they not going to do it? So I guess they're keeping their options open, maybe? I don't know.
What do you think, Kara? Like the whole... what do you think about Serpent Society, and then what do you think about the whole thing where sometimes the rumor's just early or incomplete or one step away from being true? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'd be very disappointed if this is your villain for Captain America. It's almost like the mid-level villain. When you're playing Zelda, you got the mid-level. When you're in a temple,
right,
halfway through the temple, you got to fight like a halfway decent boss before the big one is revealed. If these guys are going to be in, or a handful of them, or two of whatever, if they're going to show up in the Captain America movie, these aren't your major antagonists. I think there's going to be... Maybe it's Agent Carter. I did see somebody say Agent Carter might be Madam Viper, William Medina. Maybe Carter's running the show from behind the scenes. That would make a little bit of sense. Here's my question for you guys. Do you think Captain America 4 comes out, we go and see it? Do you think we go see that movie and we appreciate Falcon Winter Soldier more? Because I do think Falcon Winter Soldier is one of the worst Disney Plus projects.
I don't think you can like it more. I don't think you can appreciate it more. I think it's a separate. I think at this point it's a separate. It's a separate thing.
But it is like a prequel, right?
It's going to be like it feels like it's going to run right into it. If it runs right into it, I think you will a little bit. If it is completely separated, then it's just going to make it worse, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like if it came, the timing should have been better. It should have come out closer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get it. Yeah, you're right.
I don't know.
It should have been out now for a movie for next year or something, right? But maybe it was supposed to, because don't you remember COVID threw everything off?
Right.
That wasn't supposed to be our first Disney Plus project, and it ended up being WandaVision?
Yeah. Yes, I think you're right. Yeah.
Well, speaking of throwing everything off, super chat from Dave Cerrone. Kind of sounds like baloney. $5 super chat. Speaking on behalf of my own Serpent Society, I see what you did there. How about some Eva?
How about some Eva? It's a good question.
Make it rain on me, Defects. Yeah. I can feel it. More.
Yeah.
Never gets old.
Never gets old. So I think what I was going to say, and I think a lot of people are saying it in the chat as well, you're not having Harrison Ford and not being the main villain, right? You're not having Louise Dreyfus, whatever the hell her name is, not be a major
Julia
Louis. What her name
Who's
is.
Marie? Julia Louis Dreyfus. Elaine Bettis.
Yeah. Elaine, yeah, Jerome Bettis' cousin.
Jerome Bettis.
You know, like, here's another one. Like, the Wrecking Crew was in She-Hulk, technically.
That's what I was kind of getting at, too, is, yeah.
So, and guess what? They may show up, like, and okay, so forget about Serpents. Let me show the book, all right? Because I really don't like this as a spec, but it gave us a good, what is Swaggle saying there?
Swaggle said, I think Red Hulk, Ross, leader of villains that work for the government, but I think Contessa is working for Hydra secretly, and Serpent Society will be her non-governmental villain.
I can see that.
What
So
about-
this is where.
Hold on.
See,
What
I told
about-
you.
what
You got to
about
have her for a
AIM?
reason.
What
Right,
about
there's
AIM?
AIM's out there, right? I mean,
Yeah.
because AIM is, their fingerprints are all over the MCU, so that's,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Or
but-
Sword.
Or
right?
Sword. Not Sword. Well, Sword is in it. We know Sword's in it.
Has Sword been officially released, right?
That's the new
New
yeah,
Shield.
that's the spaceship.
Yeah.
Oh,
They-
right.
yeah,
that's
they
where
talked about it.
That's
Yeah.
where Fury is, right?
Yeah.
I'll take
So we can
S
get
words
AIM.
for 400, Alex.
Swords.
Who knows that?
Excalibur.
Who knows that?
Come on.
See, Gary knows it.
I know
Nice
that.
guy. Well, Gary knows.
Excalibur.
Yeah. I'll play your game, you rogue.
One of my favorite ones. Gary, one of my favorite ones. He goes, "I'll take the penis mightier for 200." And he looks at it. He goes, "The pen is mightier."
So, all right. But Gary, what do you think about that though? With the rumor mill, sometimes just it seems like they've gotten it wrong, and it turned like we haven't gotten there yet. But it feels like in some circumstances they were just either too early or 1 degree of separation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're just a little too early. You just missed it. But
You know, like
you're missing, like, you jumped from A to C. We haven't
Right.
gotten B yet, right? A, B, C. We haven't gotten that middle piece yet. So maybe people are almost getting too good at specking on some of these things.
Well, I think these industry insiders that are getting information are getting kind of the full project plan, which could span several
Yeah, they're getting the end
projects,
result.
right?
But-
And they just hear these groups that were either in it or used for inspiration, or because like some of the stuff that was spec'd on was actually there, but it was just so minor. Right, because now they're using all these little minor background things all over these shows.
Yeah.
Which is something they didn't necessarily do much of in the first 3 phases. They did it, but they're doing it way more now. So it'll be interesting. Like, while I don't like the spec, and if I found this book in a back bin, which you probably still can, I would 100% buy it for $5.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? $8 maybe. You know, if it was a nice condition. But I'm not going to say that this isn't, you're not going to hear either Madam Hydra, Viper, or Serpent Society in Captain America 4. Like, it wouldn't shock me at all. I just don't think they'll be important. You know?
That's where I'm at. I have
Right.
no problem with them showing up, but they are not going to be your main antagonist. That's just not
Right.
going to happen.
So I think that's...
And they
you know,
shouldn't. They shouldn't.
I agree.
This should not be a major villain.
Right.
in
And
the
I
Captain
think,
America
like I said, I think it's a really important distinction to make. Like, with sometimes you have to be patient with the rumors, right? Sometimes you have to let it flesh itself out, or sometimes you have to think outside the box. It's like, all right, they're saying A, like Guy was saying, or Gary was saying, A to C. They're saying A, but maybe it's, maybe we're looking in the wrong direction. Maybe it's one step away. Maybe it's like we talked, like, and in the reverse order, everyone was talking about Madam Hydra being Madripoor. Well, maybe that was actually the Serpent Society is what they really meant, and it was for Captain America 4. You know what I mean? So
hey, maybe it's not A to C. Maybe you need A to D,
Yeah,
and you're
who
missing
knows?
2 pieces of the spec, right?
So, this wasn't like, we threw it on the thumbnail because it is an obscure thing, but it was really to give me an opportunity and these guys to react to saying, like, we've started to see it a little bit, and I definitely think we're going to see that more, where some of the spec that looked like it failed was actually just too early. You know what I mean?
Possible.
Or setup.
Right, exactly. So, let's see. Let me get my slides back up. I closed it by accident. This was something we were going to talk about, and it was crazy to me that it actually made the CBR website, and not for a good reason. Veteran-owned Alaskan comic shop asked for help amid extreme weather setbacks. I think there's also other reasons why they've had setbacks, but this is our pals, Amy and Lou from Aegis Comics in Alaska. They own one big shop in Alaska, I think Wasilla, and they also own like a little pop-up shop inside
Like a mall.
where is it? Is it like, I thought it was near the army base, or is it in the army base, or
I don't know. I thought it was like a little mall.
it's like a little strip mall, like right outside the army base or right inside the army base, something like that. And they've been hit hard with kind of the drop in prices. I know they've had a lot. They're good friends of the channel. They're great in the community. I know probably half the people in this chat know who they are.
Very involved.
Yeah.
Very, very involved. Between the weather that they've had and also just, we've talked about it the last few weeks, comic shops, online retailers are getting hammered right now, and some of them are going out of business because the highs were really high. And I don't want to say every store overextending themselves, but some of them just got swept up in the too high, and then the kind of that sharp decline that we're kind of bottoming out on right now. And some of these stores just were affected like severely by it. So they set up a GoFundMe. I see that, Guy Forge. I see that. And this was, like I said, we were going to talk about this anyway because they're friends of the channel. But they actually, I was scouring for news, and CBR was running this story, which was really interesting. So I thought that was pretty cool. So in the description is the link to the GoFundMe. So anybody that wants to give a hand, like I said, most of you know them. Some of you that don't, they are super involved. We actually have some plans to maybe have them involved in something with the show coming up shortly. And then we also have one step further. Guy, if you want to talk about that a little bit, something that we're working on, give the Butcher 105 the credit for getting that ball rolling. But if you want to mention a little bit of that, let's not give too much away because we have some surprises in there.
Yeah, the butcher had a great idea to get some of our channels involved in what we are thinking will be a nice big charity event, which will be a lot of fun. Obviously, we're gonna do something with a bunch of channels. Gary being one of them. He's sitting here, so I got to mention him.
Yeah,
you'll find out the rest of them when we drop everything and drop the news. But we're gonna plan a show. We're gonna plan a live show, almost like a telethon kind of show. I think it'll be great. We're gonna have some stuff for sale. We're gonna have maybe some books, maybe some different things. We're running some auctions, but we're gonna be running some T-shirts, and all the proceeds are gonna go straight towards those guys. When someone in the community, especially friends, non-friends, I mean we're friendly with a lot of people, but when someone needs help, we try and do our best to help out. And great people, Amy and Lou, we love them. They do a lot for their communities. They do a lot of charity stuff, and they're the first ones. When you see someone that needs something, these guys bend over backwards and take the shirt off their back to give to someone else. So when they sit there and they need something, and I know sometimes it's hard to ask for help, but when they need something and they're asking for help, we as a community, I think it's nice to come together and try and help people out. So
this isn't a situation where they overextended. They don't do exclusives. So
No, they don't. No, not about exclusives with them.
This is not them making poor financial decisions or mistakes. I think this is seriously, the effects of the world around us, the current state of the comic book market. The weather didn't help and everything, not to get into too many other details, but this is not, running a business into the ground and overextending and being poor businessmen. No, this is almost seemed like it was out of their hands. And somebody made a very good point, Cerrone. Combination of reader dissatisfaction and lower sales waiting for trade. I can't agree more. This is exactly what's happening right now.
The publishers are not doing the right thing. The creators are getting annoyed. They're trying to do their own things. It's just it's a tough time right now.
Again, another reason why you see these indie books doing well.
Yeah.
And that's great, but I do want to read a good Spider-Man story. I want.
Yeah. Those are the characters that those are the pillars of the fucking community. You can't. They can't be bad forever, and right now that's where we're at. Stripathon would raise thousands. Cerrone. He always comes up with good ideas. Gotta be honest, the Butcher, you gotta get on that, bro.
This guy's a good idea machine over here, Cerrone.
I mean,
but we'll be talking about this more. But if anybody's looking to help right off the bat without waiting for the charity auctions, the GoFundMe, I just posted in the chat. But like I said, we'll be mentioning this a few more times in the next couple of weeks. So.
Good.
Let's keep it moving.
Really quick. We kind of touched on this last week. Good storytelling will drive a market.
Oh yeah.
That's all.
Same
easier
as the
said
movies,
than done.
Same as the movies. Same as the books.
Yeah.
It's all about the story, guys.
Granted, that is easier said than done. Okay, I understand that.
Apparently.
But when you tell a good story, it catches everyone. It will grasp people, and they'll go back and they'll grab the back issues and they'll do their catch up. Look at Something is Killing the Children, right?
Venom,
how many
Something's
issues
Killing
did it
Children,
take?
King in Black. I mean, it wasn't just boredom. Those were fucking attention grabbers.
They were right. Silly things like this. Again, we talked about it last week. You're always a few months away from really seeing the momentum and the stride. So I don't know right now if there's anything 1 or 2 or 3 issues into a new arc or a new book that's starting to grab people. But again, you're always a few months behind because it's got to play catch up to get to a big point in the story where everyone goes back and this is good. Word of mouth, it circulates, and people go back and pick up the older issues, and now you have some momentum. It happened with Venom. It really happened with Venom. That's probably the most recent one. And I do think Noctera held people's attention for a bit. I think people are really excited about that book because that's still ongoing, right? Or did it end?
It's a good question.
And that's the thing. We talked about it last week. That's the thing about these indie books. They end. They tell their story. They're usually good, and they move on. These writers, they move on.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate what's going on with Aegis. Hopefully we can help them out of a little pickle. And there's more information coming along, just not right now.
Not right now, right. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah, and let's see. I think the next, Noctera number 12 drops in February, so it stopped in June. That's what I thought.
They took a break?
Number 11, number 12 is in February.
So they ended an arc, and they're starting a new arc?
Yes,
okay.
Exactly.
And that's Scott Snyder still on the book. Tell me Snyder's still on the book.
As far as I know.
Should be. And then Tony Daniels?
Daniels and Snyder, yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Great
Tony Danza.
Tony Daniels. Let's keep it moving. Gary's gonna like this one. This is cool. This isn't this is one of those little far. Actually, no, this isn't that far out because, and we'll talk about this. We started talking about this, and I like connecting. These guys know I like connecting the dots.
Connect them, just like Pee Wee Herman.
It's like his favorite thing. Oh, you want me to sing it?
Here we go.
No. We don't want you to do that. Nope. Please don't do it. We're losing people. We're losing people. So we got Wanda and why do we have Wanda and Kang together?
Okay. Tell me why, Matty Forge.
So there is a rumor going around, and I heard it once, and I was like, poo-poo. I heard it twice, and I was like, okay. And then I heard it the third time, and I was like, now I started thinking about it. I'm like, okay. There's a rumor going around that states that eventually the storyline will explain that Kang or a variant of Kang, keep that in mind, is the author of the Darkhold.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow.
So
Chthon.
what does that mean to me? First of all, it's telling me that Kang really is this overall he is the big bad. Like, he is a level above what Thanos was in without even question.
Which they had to do. You couldn't
had
do a
to.
lesser character. That's why I think you got Kang for 3 phases, and you're going to hit Galactus as the next one. But go ahead.
So we had talked about this either last week or a week before, and I said, do you think we will get Kang variants that do not that are not played by Jonathan Majors?
Yes.
Okay. So, and we even said, are we going to find out that all of these things were actually Kang?
We talked about this.
We talked about that, right?
But we talked
Everything
because
comes together at the end.
instead of it was Agatha all along, it was Kang all along.
It was Kang all along.
That's
right.
what we said, right?
Yep.
So, would it be one of the most powerful book of spells, like, that created a lot of the evil that we came to know in Marvel Comics via the Darkhold, and Chthon, the writer of the Darkhold, I could see them either saying, it would be kind of lackluster to say, like, oh no, actually Kang wrote that, but we just say it was Chthon. I would like to say that Chthon is a variant of Kang. Like, even though, like, it feels dirty, like, I would like that better. You know what I mean? It would fit more to what they're trying to do.
Okay.
What do you think?
I don't like any of it. I think
You don't like it? I
No.
don't either, but if that's the route you're going to go, then that's what I want to see.
I
You know what I mean?
need Chthon as a standalone. I don't want him to be a variant of anyone. He's a standalone, because now you've just made Kang a magician, right? Magic, right? He's a warlock. You know, that's not Kang in my opinion.
But that's what I'm saying. What if they make these variants of Kang not Jonathan Majors?
No,
would it feel more like its own character then? And then later off, they're like, I'm this version of me, and that version of me, and that version of me.
Not Chthon.
Okay.
I have no problem with that, but Chthon, you're talking about like the origin
such a supreme
of
being. Right?
Yeah, right. You're talking about the origin.
Why would you need Kang for that?
You don't.
You don't, but they're trying to make, I think, what we're starting to see, and even with this rumor, like, again, this rumor could actually have been somewhere on a chalkboard.
Yeah.
That maybe they said, maybe we'll do this, and then they erased it. You know what I mean? So a lot of these things, that's what happens. But it's like, I think they're really, and we're starting to see that, they want you to know how fucking powerful and how, like, all-encompassing Kang is.
If I don't like this,
It's going to be hard to go above that after this. Then, if that's the case.
I just feel icky. I don't like it. It feels lazy.
I know.
That's what it does. It feels lazy. I think it's okay with having Chthon. I think if you make Kang Chthon, he's not the same. At least the variants of Loki were similar, right? We saw all the Loki variants. Like, they had the same, essentially they had the same abilities and different things closely related. Kang and Chthon aren't even close.
No, that's what I
They're
mean.
not even close.
Are they going to do that though? Like, I could see them just throwing it away. In like one of his, I mean, it's because it was that good in the Immortus style monologue where he's like, "Oh yeah, I wrote that book, not Chthon." You know what I mean? I could see them. I could literally see them doing that.
See,
which
I
would
would
hate,
rather.
but-
I would rather him say, "I know Chthon," or
Okay.
you know, like just.
Sure.
I've met Chthon. He's not as bad as
That's what I was going to say.
Something
That's
silly
what I was
like
going to say.
that.
Something silly if he comes along and goes Chthon? Yeah, I met him once or twice.
Yeah. I would rather that.
Yeah.
I actually like the
How about this?
mentions
How about
stuff
this?
Like,
Right.
Gary, if they're in the middle of a conversation, he just comes along and goes, Chthon? I met him once or twice, gave him a few pointers.
yeah. He had some misspellings in his book. No,
Yeah, gave him a few pointers, right, Matt? So, which doesn't mean he wrote it, but it means maybe he had some insight on it.
Actually, I did not. I don't want to change the subject, but on
Yeah, go ahead.
the Ant-Man thing, did you see? And I don't know where I saw this. I think I saw this on Instagram. And I want to stay on this topic, but
Yeah. Well, this is part of it. So
this is part of it. Did you see the ties to Shang-Chi to Ant-Man?
yeah. The rings, those. I mean,
The beacon.
I think we had talked about that a couple times.
I didn't
think so.
with you.
Oh, I think I talked about that off camera. Maybe
the
I thought it was with
beacon-
you.
It looks like exactly what Scott
Oh, wait,
Lang
didn't
is
we-
looking at.
Guy, didn't I say that when the Ant-Man trailer first dropped?
Yeah.
Right?
You said the rings.
Right. Okay. I
Yeah.
thought we. That's what I was gonna say. I thought we talked about that, but yes, 100%.
So it's
I mean,
interesting.
Yeah. What does that say, guy? I got my thing. I can't really read it.
Which, by the
Nathaniel
way,
Richards in FF 273. After he was there, didn't he then go to ancient Egypt to then be the Rama Tut from the early FF books?
We had talked about this too. The Kang, Nathaniel Richards, Immortus, Ramatut is extremely complicated and convoluted in comics.
The trailer's out right now, just in case. Obviously,
Nice.
sorry to mention it, but in case anybody wants to watch it.
I would expect the movies to be nothing like the comics when it comes to explaining.
they need to simplify it.
Yeah, it
Streamline
has to be simplified because it's not even understandable really in the comics because they redid it. They actually changed it throughout. I mean, where it started, where it ended, 3 times.
So, okay, so here you go. I'm gonna go
Yes!
full circle.
Oh
You
my
ready?
God! Sorry.
Full circle, Maddie.
yeah.
Guys and another guys over.
Yeah,
at
guys somewhere
Mando
else.
Land.
I am. Do you understand who they just showed? It is one of my favorite characters.
All right,
don't-
tell us.
Can you guess?
No idea. Come on.
Salacious Crumb.
Oh, guy has drawings of Salacious Crumb for when he used to do his art.
I
Yeah.
drew Salacious Crumb. I'm gonna show you one of these days. I drew Salacious Crumb when I was like 10, maybe. I still have the drawing that I did of him. It's funny. I just sat there and I drew him one day. I go, this guy's fucking crazy. This little guy. He goes, like,
Is that the dude from Jabba's shoulder?
yeah,
Oh, jeez.
that little fucker.
Yeah. All right. So here's the tie. You ready? You
Yeah,
ready?
let's
It's gonna
hear it.
go. It's gonna go to Shang-Chi. Maybe. Fuck. Maybe Kang is Kathan.
What?
That would suck.
Gary just figured that out. Yeah.
I don't like it. So here we go. You ready for this? Right now the 10 rings are a beacon. They're connected to Kang, and wherever they go, we don't know if it's the microverse. We don't know, right? We
Right.
kind of think it is because of what's her name, Hank Pym's wife, right? She
Right.
knows everything about Kang. It
Quantum
seems
verse,
like,
yeah.
it. The end of Shang-Chi, I hated the end of Shang-Chi. Hated the end with the dragons and all that crap. But we saw a darkness and a magic coming out of the doors, the gates, right?
True. Very true.
Are those more things tied to not only Kathan, but the book of the, what was it? Book of the Damned, right?
Darkhold, or I mean, they call,
Darkhold, whatever it's called,
like,
right? So maybe these things are all tied together, and Kang is not only Kathan, which I don't want that to happen, but the Kathan ties are to Shang-Chi. The beacon, the 10 rings, are tied to Ant-Man, which are tied to Kang. So I hope it's not true. I hope none
I
of
feel
it-
like it's gonna be because that makes a lot of sense. Now this rumor, and again, are we showing this rumor for anything other than the point of to try to understand what they're going to try to do with Kang? No, I think that's why I really showed it. I mean, it's interesting. We've talked. I mean, we obviously, we talked about the Darkhold and Kathan a ton, and I'm not gonna pat myself on the back, but
You should. You should take. You have to, because that
But-
was huge.
it's more about Kang and how they're gonna establish him, and are we gonna see different versions of him that don't actually look like him? So this will be interesting to see. Number one, is it true? And number two, if it is, how do they do it? And I still don't. I think I'm
You know what you
starting
could
to
do?
lean that it, like Gary just said, like that it could be.
They're tying it together.
Yeah.
You know what you could do? You can go back, and I told Maddie I was going to do this before I go see Ant-Man, is watch the final episode of Loki. Because Immortus, or He Who Remains, whatever they call him, actually shows different variants of himself on the desk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if you get a Kathan-style creature. I don't know. I haven't paid it. I didn't go back and watch.
Well, it's funny because and I'm reading Swaggle's comment, and it may remind me of something. I don't like Kang writing the Darkhold, but it does feel like you got to end this phase with Wanda / Loki in terms of character arcs, and that would include a relationship to Kang. He's right.
It would.
Um,
It would. I just don't
but-
want him to be Kathan.
But here's the thing: like, if some people put this online, I'm not going to take credit for it. If you look at what we saw in the Darkhold, some of the imagery and the writings and the shapes and shit like that, and then Multiverse of Madness had similar shapes. Those shapes were on one of the boards or something like that in the TVA in Loki, and then there was something in, I think it was Ant-Man in the trailer that looked like almost identical to those shapes again. So there's more to it. You know what I mean? Like there's something there. And I think Swaggo's right that Wanda is gonna have she has to be part of this whole phase. You know, like she's not done. Like
no.
I mean,
she shouldn't be.
I think we've all kind of come to that conclusion that she's not
that
done.
Maybe that's how you write off Scarlet Witch. She's so powerful. Maybe she's the answer to defeating Kang. They both go together.
Like, okay. Yeah.
Because she's too powerful. Like she's crazy powerful.
So we'll see.
You think she goes before we get Magneto?
Yeah.
That's if they were going to do that, they would have had to do it already. The timing was just off. If they were going to do the Magneto thing as her father, I think it would have had to happen already. Her arc is like it's starting to like we're getting close to the conclusion of her arc, where we're not even close to having a Magneto in the MCU. I don't think. I could be wrong, but
we don't need him quite yet. We need him, right? But we don't need him immediately.
So interesting. Just an interesting thought. Yeah.
You want to go to James Bicknell really quick? So I'll have an answer for this. Do you think Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is going to have a big effect on the overall MCU Kang story? I don't. I think that's going to... anytime I see Guardians of the Galaxy, you just think... Don't think local. Don't think small. You have to think cosmic.
Desired. Yeah.
So I think... Don't be surprised, and this is me guessing and speculating, don't be surprised if Guardians of the Galaxy 3 teases a Surfer, teases Galactus, teases something bigger, and we don't see any of it again till after Secret Wars or at Secret Wars. So that's what I'm expecting.
Look at this connection. I mean, it's I love it when you could connect things, you know, and it sucks sometimes when they don't happen. Right, Guy, can you read that? Because it's just not showing on my screen.
It says you got an Egyptian gods from Moon Knight, and then set connection with the serpent crown.
The god. The god, yeah.
The set connection, with the serpent crown and Serpent Society, filling the Hydra vacuum as well with who's Lemurian? I don't know who that is. Lemurian? That wore the crown.
Is that another god?
I think that's another god.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, what's his name just said about the Darkhold. The writing in the Darkhold is Lemurian. Right. So
got it.
So there's a lot of connections. I mean, it'll be interesting because that's a cool storyline that is great in the comics. Like I hope they do a little bit more with the movies. I don't think it'll ever be the main point of a phase, but it'd be cool to kind of include it.
Michael Baker. So,
that's a good segue, Michael Baker.
Yeah, have we figured out what they're going to do with Warlock since his biggest story arc is already done?
Yeah,
which is the
I
Infinity
know.
Gauntlet? I think you'll tie him into the he's going to get tied into Galactus.
Yeah,
he has
He's
to.
got it, right? They're gonna retcon the story a little bit.
They will.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's also where the Fantastic Four becomes massive. And I also think, and I've said this to quite a few people, that you're going to have two things going on, right? You're going to have a cosmic level threat and you're going to have a local threat. And I think you're going to have the mutants and the X-Men more in the local threat level. And I think you're going to have the Fantastic Four and the cosmic on the cosmic level. And I think you're going to see a lot of that in phases 6, 7, and 8. Right. No, 7, 8, and 9. And that's where I think you're going to get Surfer. I'm not only Surfer, you're going to get the Heralds and you're going to get Galactus. And I think that's what's going to take place for 7, 8, and 9.
And that would be dope.
That's what I think. I could be totally wrong. I could 100% be wrong, but that's just what I believe.
So, cool. I just like talking about this stuff, even some of it that, seems out there. It's just cool to say, hey, is there a connection there?
Oh, the Deviants also have ties to Eternals.
Well, it's so funny. And that's why I like doing it, because you're able to go back to the source material and talk about the source material and how it worked out in the comics, because sometimes we get tied up in just the movies, and we got to remember why they're there is because of the comics. So I love being able to go back to the source material and like connect some of those dots and figure some of that stuff out and do some of the backstory research, even if it's something that I don't know a lot about. And that's what's happening in the chat right now. Even though we're talking about the MCU, Look at how much comic knowledge was just dropped in the chat in the last.
lot.
Oh yeah,
Quite a
in the
bit.
last 5 minutes.
A lot.
Yeah, everyone came with how things are connected.
William
I
Medina.
love
There's actually a lot of stuff from the Darkhold. It's everything,
Yes.
isn't it? It's werewolves, it's
Werewolves,
vampires,
vampires.
it's everything like that. So
I don't think they're gonna pass up that opportunity.
no,
to
you
at
have
least
to
make
it's
that
a
connection.
It's a great
Right.
origin story for all the ghosts. We've already watched Werewolf by Night, right? So you saw a lot of characters, right? Creatures introduced there, and to give them an origin story, where did they all come from? They came from the Darkhold, Cathan, all those tie-ins. I think that's huge, and I think you
Yeah.
have to touch on it.
You have
to.
So we have Guy has some stuff, and then I have some stuff, and we're gonna kind of go quick. All right. So first point: this Friday, the 20th, we have an auction on this channel. Me, Guy, the Butcher, and a mystery guest.
Oh.
And it's not Gary.
It's not me.
It's not you.
Is it who
so
we
that's
talked about before the?
No. This is off the wall. You're gonna laugh when you hear
Okay.
who this is.
All right.
So that's this Friday. Mark it down and let us know in the comment, or do it later. Put it in the comments of this video, or put us on IG. Tell us what you want to see. Because honestly, I didn't pull any books yet. I have a couple different directions I want to go. If you have special requests, let us know. I wanted a couple people messaged me, and we were in a couple chats that also asked us to touch on, and I want to spend like 30 seconds on this. The video that Comics with Bueller put out today about Whatnot. And I don't have a lot of thoughts on it. So I'll just say real quick that it just sounds like two parties that just went their separate ways because they're interested in a line anymore. I don't think there, and I honestly, it was exactly what I expected. It wasn't like this big conspiracy. It wasn't, contractual obligations that weren't met on Whatnot's part. It was just that Bueller wanted more from them, and it sounds like they wanted more from him, and it just didn't work out. So, again, not really something that I wanted to talk about, but I got asked a bunch of times to give my opinion about it, and that's really all it is. I don't think there was anything much bigger than that. I don't think there was a bombshell. I don't think there was this. If that video didn't exist, I don't think it would change anybody's mind. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's any different than that video being out there. I don't think it put Whatnot in a worse or better light. It didn't put Bueller in a worse or better light. It just kind of was an unfortunate circumstance of business. Sometimes shit just doesn't work out. So I wish Bueller the best. I hope everything works out for him and touring around the country. I don't know him from a hole in the wall. Never spoke. I don't even think I've said his name live ever, but do what you got to do. And that's it. Guy, you have anything to add?
Bueller.
Yeah, there you go. So
Bueller.
crossing that off the list.
That's all I got for that.
Quickly, Gary, I know you want to spend more time on it, but I have no idea about it, and I know Guy doesn't either. Last of Us.
Oh.
Talk about it for a few minutes. Yeah.
I thought it was awesome. I thought the game, I said this when we opened up here, the game is probably one of the top 3 games I've ever played in my life. Story, graphics, gameplay, gripping, great storytelling. But Naughty Dog is good at that, and that's who made that. They also do Drake, I believe.
Good
Phenomenal
games, yeah.
storytelling. I never played the second one, but I remember playing the first one and dying a ton of times and never getting pissed off because I never wanted the game to end. When you play a video game and you don't want it to end, you never want it to end. That's how I felt playing that game. I never wanted it to end, and every time I played for like an hour, I was like, shit, I'm an hour closer to ending this game. I'm an hour closer to being done with it, So with that being said, the first episode on HBO Max, and I can't wait for you guys to see it, was awesome. My wife watched it with me, and I was kind of telling her little ties to the game and everything. And today, she worked today. I was off, but when she got home, she's like, I've been thinking of The Last of Us all day. I'm like, I'm telling you, it was really good, very intense, very emotional, very video game accurate, which is fun to say.
That's always good.
That's fun.
We, as fans, we want shit to be as accurate as possible, right?
Yeah. And like, it's so early on in the story, there's so much to tell. I'm very excited for the series. Very excited.
Okay. Guys, before we move on, there's 90 of you in here. All I have.
Oh boy.
One
Mike
request
the Beast
for you
Benson.
guys.
I'm sorry. Mike the Beast Benson. Yes, 100%. Because these guys didn't play the game, so they're going to be watching it. and you'll get their feedback, I'm sure, next week.
Yeah, next week. I'm going to hopefully watch this week, so it'll be interesting to see how it lines up, and I'll probably ask you a few questions. But 91 of you now, you have an assignment. All you got to do, I ask you for one thing. One thing. You could use your finger. You don't got to use your tit. You know what I mean? Like, you could just...
Actually, please don't. That's just
that
very
might hurt.
painful.
You may
You may
break a
click
phone.
something else.
You know what I mean? Wow, Gary.
Yeah.
Wow.
What?
I don't know if you meant to go there, but you went there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What did I say? I said, please don't.
Nothing.
You might click
You make
something
the
You
else.
know what? It's
something
my
else,
mind.
yeah.
Man. It's just
That's
my
fine.
mind. You know?
It's fine,
You
Gary.
might click something else if you... What?
Nothing.
Now,
No, you're good.
now Gary has an Italian accent too. You may click to something
You're
else.
making a click of something else.
Who knows?
You know? Guy, before you go,
Yeah.
Gary, can you run down what you have coming up real quick? We're not going anywhere yet, but I just need like 2 seconds. So can you run
yeah.
down what some of the stuff you have coming up?
Yeah. Tomorrow, I saw you guys. So you guys have an auction on Friday, and I saw somebody ask about Silver and Bronze Spider-Man. No joke. Tomorrow on Whatnot, I'm doing a straight Spider-Man show. So it's all Amazing Spider-Man, Secret War, all Spider-Man, Venom, Carnage, all Spider-Man tomorrow on Whatnot. And then I should throw the link in there, but I'll do it. Next Tuesday is all X-Men on Whatnot, and I go Tuesdays at 8:30 Eastern. And then next Friday, that's the big one. January 27th is when I'm dropping with Ryan Brown, Darkwing Duck variant, as well as the Last Ronin, The Lost Years, 2 exclusives. I did not want them to drop at the same time, just due to delays and the way things worked out. Both of these books are releasing the same week. That was not the plan, so I feel bad about that. But instead, what we're going to do is we'll make deals and package deals. If you buy all 4 books, you get X amount of money off. So we'll turn it into like a good sale.
Let me tell you, I'm very excited for that, Gary. I think everyone, even though they're coming out at the same time, I think it's gonna be awesome.
So I
two awesome
appreciate
books.
it.
Yeah.
So here's a really cool thing. If you guys have not purchased anything on Whatnot, I'm gonna put a link in the chat. Well, I think I am. This gets you $10 off your first purchase, which means if you come to the stream where we're selling the Darkwings and the Ronins, you'll get like a $25 variant for $15 because you get $10 off. So you get like, what is that? Like 40% off if you
awesome.
haven't purchased anything yet on Whatnot. So I threw that in there. So there you go. So that's my big shtick. That's
you
next
go.
Friday.
There you go.
Matty
Defects.
Forge will be in the house though.
I'll
for that
be
one.
there. I'll be on scene. I
You
think
will
that'll
be here.
actually be my
On
first
site.
appearance on Whatnot.
Yeah, we'll get you on.
If
you can
I
watch
decide
Ryan.
to come on the cast.
Well, here's the cool thing
Gary's
about
like,
that
yeah, I don't
stream.
know if I want you on my stream, but maybe.
Here's the cool
you know?
thing about that stream is not only I have Ryan not only doing the Ronin cover and the Darkwing cover, he's literally going to be here doing sketches and signing, and we can get your books off to CGC and get you those yellow labels.
I'll
So
be
that's
that
really-
witness. You can
Which I
imagine
can't-
that
I can't
CGC
wait for that.
allowed Me to be a witness, like
That's gonna be a lot of freaking fun. That's gonna be a fun stream because the covers are absolutely ridiculous.
I may just have to go live and do like the behind the scenes kind
You
of thing.
should do it. You
I
should go
do
live
that.
from Pressable Defects and
Yeah,
watch from behind the scenes.
I could
You
do
should
that.
bring your stuff. Yeah,
I'll
that'd
just
be
do it
cool
on
as
my
hell.
phone. I'll just,
Oh,
do
yeah,
it on
just
my
come
phone
and
quick,
I'll
you
come
know?
and tape you. That's what I'll do. I'll
You
come and
can
tape.
come,
There you go.
guy. You
Matt.
want to come too? You can come.
Just Maddie, I'll tape. That's all.
Oh, there you
you
go.
know what?
Like,
You can
I
record
actually
the
gotta-
guy
Behind
behind
the
the
scenes.
scene. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's behind the behind the scenes.
Let me explain. I'm the guy behind the guy.
That
If
is
you
true.
didn't know.
Yeah.
So
That's going to be a lot of fun. And I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to get ahead of myself. This is looking down to April, May.
Okay.
But I'm in the works, in the talks, kind of starting with another exclusive. And I'm like a sucker for the stuff
getting
I
ahead of
enjoy.
yourself.
The reason it's another book I'm really, really interested in. And
come on.
Ryan's doing the cover.
Ah.
And then so I'll tell
keep
you
doing
guys
this
off
to me.
camera. I'll tell you guys off camera because I don't know if it's locked and loaded yet. I don't know if it's a done deal. I don't know anything. But I'll tell you what I'm working on.
I have a question for you because I actually got to reach back out to Ryan. I know we exchanged hands of something. Do you know if he started on what I gave him?
Oh, I have no idea. I know what you gave him. I have no idea.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't. I haven't spoken to him. Not a touchdown, baby. Yeah.
hate
Benny
the
Beans,
Cowboys.
I miss him too. I think even Gary misses him a bit.
I do, of course. It was like a 5-hour hangout, man.
That was just a lot of moments.
A lot of
that
classic
spawned
moments.
from those. And Mickey, if you're still in here, you know what you did, and thank you for that. They thank you for that, but thank you. The community thanks you. How about that? So I appreciate you, buddy. We got to talk actually soon because I wanna do something with you coming up here. But all right, I think I got to hold off on everything else and let Guy take the reins because he's got something cool coming up.
Let's go.
I don't know if it's that cool.
It is because it's
Everything
different.
you do is cool.
Do you think it's cool?
I don't
I'm
even
gonna
know
be
what we're about
honest,
to do.
I'm going to disagree with that statement, but
Wow.
I do love Guy, and this is cool. So I can't seem biased because then it would seem like I'm biased because he's my cousin. You know what I mean?
You know what? That's all right.
Going
No
into
worries.
this, I have no idea what's about to happen, guys. So
All right,
for
let's
everybody
do it.
watching, I have no clue.
We're gonna start.
I mean, it's
dancing.
not that different. I mean, I'm just hyping it up.
Just shut up and dance. No one was dancing.
Oh, fuck. I forgot to dance.
No one was fucking dancing.
I'm watching-
sitting
I was
here, I'm
watching
sitting
you
here in the
dance.
background dancing.
Jay was
fucking-
dancing,
and
100%.
Nobody was dancing.
No.
Fuck you
All
guys.
right, so we're doing cash it or trash it.
Yeah, hey guys, welcome back. Cash it or trash it. So how you doing?
I haven't done this in a while. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and Gary's on for Cash It or Trash It, which
Yeah.
is fun also. But we're gonna start this off with a little thing, and then we're gonna run into a whole different thing for Cash It or Trash It, which
A
we
variant.
obviously need the chat involved in this. Maddie, can you put up the chat on the side?
Of course I
Anything
can.
we get
do?
the chat involved is always good.
We love getting the chat involved. So Cowboys
go.
rocking
All right.
rocking and rolling right now.
Let's
So
go.
just so we have this up here. I know we dabbled in it a little bit, guys, but let's talk about this full shot of Adam Warlock.
Looks like a
He's
eunuch.
probably one of the most anticipated characters to hit the screen. I would hope you guys would agree to that.
The Beast.
I can't see what the Beast said yet.
The Benson family was dancing.
Thank you, Mike the Beast. I appreciate that, and I appreciate the first family of comics. So James Gunn says Warlock is still in an angry, like infant form. So he's still obviously. I think we're gonna get like badass, pissed off Adam Warlock. Like that's my opinion of what we're gonna get. And then obviously we're gonna see that change over a little bit of time. I don't know if that's gonna be right away or like down the line. But guys, bring it into Cash It or Trash It. What do we think of this full shot of Adam Warlock?
All right, take the pic down so we can see the chat too.
Yeah, sure.
So right off the bat, Benny got maybe the line of the night so far. Warlock equals trash it. He looks like he got doused in Trump's spray. I gotta laugh at that. That's pretty funny. That's a good one. So I'll let Gary go first. Cash it or trash it.
Cash it. I'm in.
Okay.
I am in. You guys are looking at stills, man. Don't
Thank
be
you.
James Gunn we trust. I'm all about Jimmy G. I still want him on this stream. I still want him here answering questions.
Jimmy G.
Yeah. Jimmy G, if somebody knows him, get him out here. We want him on the Defects channel. Give us 20 to 30 minutes of your time. No, I have so much faith. I am all in on Adam Warlock. Actually, that's probably the best picture we've seen of him yet.
Wow.
In costume, looking badass. I'm real curious what they're going to do with the stone. I'm just curious how that's all going to work out.
That'll
That's
be
all.
interesting.
Yeah.
But
no,
I mean,
I'm in.
Are we? I mean, some people seems like they're talking about Warlock in general. Are we just talking about the way he looks? I'm assuming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going
Focus-
look wise because that's what. Now we're
focus
getting
on the look.
first looks at these guys. So we're going to come up with another one in 2 seconds. So first look at
wonder-
these guys. What do you think?
I'm
mean-
cash it, Matt. Let's go.
Okay. I want more. Eventually, I want him to.
Well, you're going to get a movie in
Right.
May, so is that
No,
enough?
I meant
for you?
like I want.
Hey.
I meant like I want a different look going forward, but I'm okay with the initial. So I'm gonna cash it, and I will pass along Jay's because he wrote it in our chat today. When he first saw Warlock, I think he was hyped about it a little bit, but then when he saw this picture, he posted it, and the next thing he wrote was "Yikes!"
Yikes.
So I think it was a trash it from Jay. That's not a surprise. But I'm gonna cash it tentatively, but I'm still gonna cash it. What about you, guy? You're
I just
clearly
want to make
Trash is your favorite character. I mean,
I just want to make a statement that this kid missed like 5 extra points in a row.
He missed another one.
He's keeping it interesting.
He missed another one. Yeah. He keeps missing
Kamikaze,
him wide
what up?
right. Can you like turn to the left a little bit and just kick
didn't
it
he get a
left?
field
It's
goal
because
early?
he's only wearing one shoe.
That's
That'll
probably
do it.
why.
That's what
That's
it is.
Walking
probably
in a
why.
circle.
Yeah.
Very like walking in a circle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cash it. I first of all, for the actor, which I think people were upset at first, I think he's gonna do a great job.
Can you throw it back up
We're
there
doing the
really
look
quick?
guy only.
Really
Come
quick?
on, man.
Oh, all right,
Don't
sorry.
break
Throw
the
it up
do.
there
rules.
really quick.
Well, either way, I'm not breaking. It's my rules.
Throw
my
the.
fucking show.
He said it's my rules.
I don't
like
know.
that.
I think he looks all right. I'm not upset. I mean,
think he
you
looks
remember
great.
what they all look
And I
like
think the
in
color-
Guardians too.
And by the way, I don't think his color is gonna stay like that
That's what I'm
totally
saying.
either. I don't think you're getting the full.
I need a different
Look
look
of
I like the
everything.
I like the costume though. I'm okay with this.
I love the red cape. I love it.
I like it. I'm in. Cash it. Let's go. I like it.
I think it's you know what? I'm getting thrown off because I want more red and maybe that black eventually. But I think I get it because right now he came from I can never remember their names, the gold people I just call
Yeah.
them. So he's predominantly gold, but I do think that'll change eventually. So
I
yeah.
love gold.
The further he gets away from there,
yeah,
I think it'll start to change a little bit.
All right,
Well,
guys.
I think the majority was a cash it. Just to say it, I think that's what the majority.
It was definitely a heavy majority.
So I'm gonna throw this up there, guys, and then let's see how the chat does with this one. Cash it or trash it. We're going. We got
Dick
we got the first full look of this too. What do you think, Gary?
Cash this all day. Let's go. Bring
How
on Kang.
How badass, how comet
This
accurate
guy,
does this look?
guy is gonna make you second guess Thanos.
Yep.
Let's go.
I believe that as well. Yeah, we'll
Let's
make this
go.
one quick. I'm cashing it. It's super comic accurate. There was another good picture that we were trying to find that, I mean, it literally looks like they pulled them from a comic book.
Let's go.
I'm super happy about that. Jonathan Majors is doing huge things in the acting world. This year he has several films. We'll talk about 2023 films maybe next week because we ran out of time. But he's going to kill this, and I think he's going to rival and surpass. My hope is that he will surpass what Josh Brolin did as Thanos.
He will.
And he definitely has the chops to do it. We'll see if it happens.
You know why he's going to? And I don't want to go too crazy here. We're gonna see significantly more Kang than we did Thanos. We saw Thanos really
a good
in
point.
2 movies, right?
That's a
Let's be
good point.
honest. We saw him in 2 movies.
But again, here's the thing too, Gary. You saw Thanos and you saw Thanos. You saw Thanos.
Yeah.
You saw Thanos. You're going to see
Yeah.
different versions of
Yeah.
Kang.
It's
This is-
something
you
we're
are.
not used to.
This is where you're going to see this guy's acting chops really,
which
show
we
you what
already
he's capable
saw.
of.
Which
We
you
already saw.
Of course
in
we saw it.
Immortus, which
Of
is
course we
awesome.
saw
And
it.
now we're gonna see Kang. I got to go back and watch that final episode of Loki. It's
Yeah,
gonna
that
mean
was-
so
that
much
was
more
a
now.
Great monologue. Probably one of the better ones in the MCU.
Oh, hell
Any
yeah.
phase. Yeah. So, all right, guy.
All right, now we're going to do something fun, guys. You ready for this?
This is the
We're
variant.
gonna run this into a rapid fire cash it or trash it.
Let's go.
We're gonna talk about this is where it gets cool. Get ready, chat. This is gonna be fun. We're gonna talk about rumors of character castings. We've talked about some of them already, but they've been in the news recently, which is going to be fun because I want to see what you guys think. Some of them may have already been debunked. Some of them may not.
So wait,
but-
are you going actor for character here?
Yep.
Okay.
So castings that have popped up within the last, like, let's say, couple weeks.
All right.
First
There's
one
been
up.
a bunch of them. Yeah.
Yeah. There's been a bunch.
Matt, do you know what's about to go down?
He just basically what he just said now is what he told me before.
Oh, good. Okay.
He's
So we're on
basically
the
just
same
going to show
page.
us a character, and then the people that are possibly playing him, and we're just going to say we like that guy or we don't like that guy.
Okay.
Cash it or trash it. We're just gonna we have 5 to go through. It's gonna be simple.
All right.
It's gonna be easy. Get ready, everybody. In case you haven't heard it, obviously we need a new Superman.
So rapid fire, right? Okay.
Rapid fire. Jacob Elordi rumored to be Superman. We got a little James Gunn reaction to this already. In case you haven't heard it, but I don't really know if I believe it.
I don't believe
Gun-
anything.
Guns
How is this
reaction.
dude in? What is
So-
this dude? Who is he? I have no idea.
Give us
who
the
he is.
lowdown. Give us the lowdown, guy.
He's from some TV show. I forget what the hell the
okay.
name of it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
that clears
So,
it up then. All right.
You're welcome.
I don't know him. I can't give you. I mean, I think he's a good young-looking Clark Kent, which I know is what James Gunn was going for. He wanted a younger character, a younger
he's
Superman.
Going younger.
But
he's going younger.
I can't. I have no idea who he is, so I'm sorry.
All right, we got to figure out how this guy is.
I see a lot of. Euphoria. I haven't watched that show.
Euphoria. There you go. Thank you.
I know this guy.
Thank you, Chad.
I do want to watch
say trash it. I'm just gonna trash it because I don't like that show. So
I'm gonna go with the majority here. They're all saying trash it. I don't see anybody liking this decision.
Rapid fire.
But you got to remember, they're going younger. He wanted a younger Superman. He wants a younger Clark Kent. So
he did.
I guess you could, that's cash it, right? He's got the younger actor if it's true, but I don't know anything about.
Mostly everybody is trashing that. We'll jump to the next one. You know him from everything under the sun these days. Giancarlo Esposito, rumored as Professor X. Gary.
As Professor X, I want to trash.
Watch Kaleidoscope and then answer this question.
Then I'm gonna. I love him. Let's just.
He's great. He's great.
You know what? Okay. I am gonna cash it because I'd rather him a Professor X than Magneto. So because I've heard that rumor too. So I'm gonna cash this.
100% cash it. I don't really have to. Yeah, just
anybody in the chat?
Is so good. His range is so good. Yeah, 100%. I'll cash it.
I'd much rather him a Professor X than.
Are we getting the chat
Magneto
reaction?
I think we're a little behind. I see a lot of trash, but I don't know if it's that's for Superman.
I think those are from before.
Okay.
Well, we might have to write what it's for. Since we're going rapid fire, you may have to say Giancarlo, cash.
I'm seeing a lot of.
Okay, now they're coming up with good actor.
Good actor, but trash from nobody that draws.
That's I was kind of leaning there. Like, okay, I would like to see him somewhere. I don't know if he could be Professor X, but I think he can. I don't want him as Magneto, man, or Doctor Doom. I don't want him as Doctor Doom.
I don't want him as Doctor Doom. No.
So like,
we'll hit this one because we got this one already before. I'm just revisiting because they were talking about it again. So let's talk about Ryan Gosling.
Oh, I'll cash that all day.
Nova.
I'll cash that.
I think he would do a good job.
I think he would too. I don't.
Dick Ryder. There he is.
I almost want him as somebody different in the MCU, but I guess I'll cash it because
I think
I like him as an actor. I think he's pretty talented.
I like him too.
He could be serious. He could be funny. I know he gets slammed on for The Notebook and stuff like that, but I do enjoy stuff that he does. So I'll cash it.
Okay, I think
a lot of people are cashing.
A lot of cash.
Yeah,
Chat's agreeing with it.
I'm surprised actually by that, but a lot of people cash.
No, why? I think he'd be because I think Nova is a good enough character, a character that's going to show up enough where Ryan Gosling's worth casting.
Yeah.
I agree.
Right?
True.
I got a fun one. I got a fun one for you, Gary.
Yep.
Well, I'll say it after. Go
okay,
ahead.
I saw this one.
So Adam Driver rumored for Reed Richards.
All right, I'm actually gonna trash this one. I didn't like him in Star Wars. I didn't watch that show that he was on, his big break on HBO. The girl show? I forgot. But I my wife used to watch it, and I'd see him every now and again. I just trashing him. I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't want him in the MCU. I don't like him as an actor.
I want him in the MCU because he's done so many different, like his roles are all so different.
Yeah.
So I don't like him in certain roles, but it also, when I look at like the totality of what he's done, it's crazy for somebody that hasn't been around that long is able to play so many different roles. So I feel like I don't appreciate, like, I feel like 10 years from now, we may have a different tune and be like, yo, that guy's a good actor. It's possible. I don't know. I'm going to trash it for Reed Richards, though. I don't think he's the right fit there. I could see him as somebody else. Somebody saying Doom.
Don't you want, and I could be totally misusing this word, and I think, Matt, maybe you're even the one who said this to me. I think Reed needs to be a stoic character, like actor, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's Reed's persona, in my opinion. And I don't think Adam Driver is that person. Yeah, now I hope I'm wrong.
Doom. He can't be Doom because that's just Kylo Ren over again. I mean,
no, God, no. I hope I'm wrong. If he's cast and he does well, I hope I'm wrong because I only want the MCU to succeed. And more importantly, I just want to be entertained and enjoy these movies again. and I'm
Well, this might be entertaining for you. This is the last one, guys. I thought this was really cool because from what we've seen from him already, I like him. Let's just put it that way.
James Bicknell.
Glenn Powell.
Yeah, cash that.
Rumored
I like this a lot. I like
as
this a
Green
lot.
Lantern.
Yeah.
See, that was easy, right, guys?
yeah.
I like that a lot, to be honest.
I like
with you.
this dude. I
Probably
like
one
this
of the
dude.
best ones so far. Yeah.
So I like this dude. I like how he holds the screen. Like he can command the screen himself.
That's
He can do
Hal
it.
Jordan, though.
That's Hal Jordan. Exactly.
That's Hal Jordan.
But that's so he can command the screen. This guy, and I think he can run a movie by himself. Where he was a counterpart in this movie. He was not. You know what I'm saying? Like so. But
I'm
like,
looking at Hal Jordan, guy. Come on.
It's
looking
amazing.
at him. Yeah,
Well,
I think it's great.
He is going to do what they attempted to do with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
And I'll explain. He even had a conversation. He said this is a fan casting. Obviously, no one has contacted him. He went through the normal stages of I have no idea what you're talking about. Which do we believe that?
I don't believe any of that shit these days.
No. So that's your last one. I think everyone in the chat would agree with that one.
And if that's true, just remember last week I did talk about you need Hal Jordan as Green Lantern. That is no hate on any of the other Lanterns. You need to open up Green Lantern with Hal Jordan. Not Guy Gardner, not Jon Stewart, not Alan Scott. You need Hal Jordan. Those characters can come, don't get me wrong, and I want them to show up, please. You got to start with Hal Jordan. And I think James Gunn knows that. So let's go.
And I think that was another episode of Gary.
Cash it or trash it.
Somebody just said Howie from
Dude,
or
no
Huey.
joke. I'm reading that and I'm thinking and I'm like,
It might
it's
actually
not
work. Yeah.
that bad.
I would have to erase like his
Huey.
initial.
What you know already.
Huey.
No,
Yeah,
but
right.
he gets bad at he's
That's what I'm
Huey's
saying. Like
turning
what
the corner.
he started as versus how it started versus how it's going is way different, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But
That's
what I
not
want to say,
a sequential.
it's not bad.
That's not a bad cast.
It's not bad.
I would like that more than Adam Driver.
Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%. And
That's
he's a proven
crazy.
entity. He's a proven entity.
Yeah. That's a good one.
That's it. That is a good one. I wanted to say this real quick, and then we're pretty much done here. The thing with Ryan Gosling that I could see, which I would love, is that just the way that Robert Downey Jr. took Tony Stark and gave him this larger than life personality that, I guess he just took it to another level that we didn't see in comics, right?
Iron Man was irrelevant until Robert Downey Jr.
You know
he
what
was
I mean?
just
Like,
Iron Man.
It just his persona then
gave
actually started getting written into comics more of the way we saw, and I could see that for Nova if somebody like a Ryan Gosling took that
I could
role.
see that.
Good point.
I think what Robert Downey Jr. did is he gave let's say for what it is. He gave Tony Stark a household name.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Very good point, guy. Tony
Nobody
Stark.
cared about Iron Man. Our age group cared about Batman, Spider-Man, and the X-Men.
Yeah.
Nobody cared about Captain America either, so I don't want to hear it from anyone. Nobody cared about Iron Man. Nobody cared about these characters, or even Thor.
Well,
it was
speaking
all
of
about
somebody
X-Men.
we do care about,
It was all X-Men, Batman, and Spider-Man.
100%.
former Trout coming in with that 25 Canadian. For the chat, knowledge being dropped tonight. Got some awesomeness going on today. So you know what? I agree. Former Trout and Matty Forge. Former Trout drops a bomb. What do you do?
You know what? We were talking about dropping, and I want to give this is for Tank. This is for Tank.
Take the tank, fly it right up to the general's palace, drop it at his feet. I'm like, boom. You looking for this?
Oh God! Fight me! Oh Jesus Christ!
Never gets old.
That's from one of the auctions
So
right
good.
there.
So
Never
good.
gets old. So
Michael the Beast Benson, Gosling as Quasar. I don't think that's going to happen. I think because Quasar is not going to have the legs of Nova. I don't think Quasar's around as much as Nova.
I don't even know if Quasar's going to be. I don't even know if Quasar's going to be around. They're talking about an Ant-Man character 3 named Quaz, and now they're saying that he's a telepath. I mean, we had talked about that. We said that that's
Yeah.
probably what it's. Who knows? Again, they could retcon that into somehow or another. I don't know.
I like Gosling as Nova. I do.
Yeah,
as
I
Richard.
do like
I
that.
like that.
So I think
You can say Dick Rider.
You could say Dick. We. I think we're gonna wrap it up. We went a little longer than we wanted to, but we had fun. It was some good stuff to talk about. Like I said, this Friday at 8 p.m. on this channel, we'll be doing another monthly Defects auction. Let us know what you're looking for, and we'll try to bring it. Live show next Monday. Going to be an interesting one. We're going to be looking up pricing. We're going to be looking up comic market. Specifically, we're just going to basically be taking requests from the chat and from inside the panel, and just be like, let's take a look at this book. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at what the peak of 2020 was, what the average of 2020 was, and then what the last sale was, and see which is highest. Forget about 21 and 20 and 22, right? Flukes. I want to know, if I bought a book in 2019 or 2020, am I better off today or was I better off then? So that's going to be interesting to kind of see that live. And we're all going to be doing this basically live. Like I'm not going to look it up beforehand. I'm going to just write some books down, and then we're going to see. And we're going to see
make
percentage.
bets? Can we say,
Yeah,
like-
we could do that. We could
Yeah,
definitely
let's
do that.
That'll be
We
fun.
could
And we'll
say-
get the chat involved, right?
Yep, and we could say, and then we can maybe even do some fast math. 10% higher, 20% lower, shit like that. So it'll be interesting because I have a feeling it's going to surprise people more than they think.
It's not as bad as people think.
I was
Yeah,
not going to give it away, but yes, let's say.
Sorry.
I'm going to say it's not going to be as low right now as you actually think it is, because everyone has 2021 in their mind, right? So
And
that'll be a
2022.
that's going to be a good show. That's going to be a good show.
Yeah.
So tune in next
Tell
week.
your friends.
Maybe we won't be fighting the playoffs and a holiday. I think it's just a regular fucking Monday for once.
Is there
So
a
we've
Monday?
run
There's
into-
not a Monday game next week, right?
There shouldn't be. I don't
No,
think
because
there
there's only
is, no.
4 games or 8 games.
Yeah.
4 games.
I think you're right. It's just 4.
Two
No,
and
there
two.
might be actually. It might
Or
be.
6.
It's like
3 and 3.
the last 5 weeks is just like there's like college football, New Year's, Christmas, like fuck. So we'll get away from all this at some point. All right.
Well, we got Mike the Beast Benson coming in before we leave with that $4.99 super chat. Awesome show, fellas. Any chance we can see Larry? When you request something, Mike the Beast, you get it.
Yeah, we'll get Larry and let him take us out. So
No Monday.
defects. I love you guys. We'll see you next Monday. Well, let's let Larry take us home.
No, we'll see you Friday.
Oh,
on the
yeah, we'll see you
auction.
Friday first. Yeah.
Up a new jump here. Just gonna send it. Gonna hit her about 3/4 to full throttle. Come down that hill pretty fast. Hit that water, just gonna hold her wide. Gonna be a good day.
Larry. That's
I
what
love the
kills
guy
me.
that goes, Larry.